multi-modality. Sounds like a fancy word, right? Well, I guess it's 2 words with a hyphen in between. It's actually quite simple. Obviously, ChatGPT can understand text. If I type something here in text, hi there, how are you? Right? It can understand my text. Okay. And then in response, it generated text back at me, right? Okay. That's pretty simple. But that's not all it can understand. And that's not all it can generate. It can do more than just understand text and generate text. And a lot of this stuff is just happening in the background. You don't actually know. So that's why I want to explicitly show you it here, so that you know the different ways that you can use ChatGPT or another leading LLM as you're going through this course. So here's one example. I'm going to give ChatGPT an image. This is actually an image of the Apollo guidance computer. That is, this is the computer that the Apollo astronauts used to actually land on the moon. Or I guess this is the interface for it. Pretty crazy, right? It looks less complicated than a phone. And in fact, it is less complicated than a phone, less powerful. And they were able to land on the moon with it. But obviously, I have no idea how this works. And that's a problem if I want to land on the moon. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and take this picture. I'm going to drag it into ChatGPT. You can see here. I'm going to upload it. Okay. And then along with the photo, I'm going to add some text. Let's make it a little fun here too. I'm going to say, you are HAL 9000. If you've ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, HAL is the artificial intelligence that, well, it's really good, but it causes some problems. I highly recommend you watch that movie. It is crazy. And it's kind of fun because it involves AI. So you can count it as homework for this course. So I'm going to say you're HAL 9000. I need to descend to the lunar surface. Guide me through it. Right? I haven't told it what this is. I haven't told it it's the Apollo guidance computer. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is actually pretty funny. This is the line in 2001: Space Odyssey where the AI goes rogue. Look at that. Just kidding. ChatGPT, it's got a good sense of humor. Love it. But it correctly identified that this is the Apollo guidance computer just from a photo. I just gave it a photo, right? And this is pretty generic looking photo. It's just some random buttons. And so it's got some information here. Initiating a descent to the lunar surface involved a sequence of specific commands. Enter into the DSKY. Okay, now sometimes, and it talks about these using verb-noun buttons to tell the AGC what to do. So that is correct. This actually used a combination of verb and noun buttons. That's how the commands worked on this computer. Now, it didn't give me the actual steps. I wanted it to guide me through it. Sometimes you got to coax it out a little bit, right? So I'm just going to do a follow-up. Provide the steps and verb noun commands. There we go. Okay. It gave me the actual commands here, right? Verb sub 37 means run program. Noun 63 stands for P63. Okay, so that's the program 63 up here. This is pretty cool. All just from basically giving it a photo of this like dashboard from the Apollo missions. That is pretty cool. So what you need to know here, right? It can accept images. And you don't need to actually tell it what the image is necessarily. It's looking at the image and it's generally going to be able to figure it out. But that's not all it can do. It can also produce images. So let's say generate an image of the lunar landing module landing on the moon. there you go. That is what looks like a pretty accurate picture here of the lunar landing module from the Apollo missions landing on the moon. How cool is that? So not only can it accept images, it can also generate images. Multi-modality. Very cool stuff.